No one is coming to save you. Every result is your responsibility. Each time you blame, you give away your right to decide. Each time you make an excuse, you hand the wheel to circumstances. Today, choose to take responsibility for your life 100% with no exceptions, no compromises, and no waiting for ideal conditions. Every lasting change begins with one clear decision. You say yes to responsibility and no to justification. You return control to its rightful owner yourself. When you own your choices and your actions, the door to change opens where it used to be locked. You must stop waiting for someone to grant you permission to start. You must stop searching for reasons to step back. You must admit that the current result belongs to you. This truth is hard to hear, but it gives back your power to choose and the strength to be responsible. Are you sitting in your own driver's seat? Are you blaming circumstances or other people? Are you defending today's delay? Will you dare to admit that from now on, every step forward or backward comes from your decisions? Begin by being honest about what you are avoiding. Begin by saying no to your familiar excuses. Begin by choosing one small action that is right. Those small choices stack into a new identity where you show up for yourself every single day. Do not wait for motivation. Begin first and motivation will come. Do not blame. Own your part and fix it now. Do not leave it to fate. Choose a direction and keep walking. When you choose to act instead of react, responsibility replaces old inertia and pulls you forward. Who else do you want to stand in for you when the results arrive? Will you keep waiting for a signal or will you flip the switch yourself? Do you want real progress or do you just want a story to tell? Are you willing to say out loud that from here on, responsibility is mine and then I will do my part? No excuses, no concessions, no extra exceptions. No blaming, no running, no surrendering control, no stepping back, no circling around, no waiting for a perfect day. If you choose 100% responsibility right now, every day that follows becomes a chance to grow. Begin today, not tomorrow. Show up for yourself every time the moment comes. Keep your word to yourself in each small choice. Repeat long enough, and you will feel strength coming from the decisions you make each day, not from your circumstances. Chapter 1. Name it. You only fix it right when you see the real problem. If you want to fix your life first, you have to call out the exact habit that makes you dodge responsibility and slow yourself down. When the problem is called by the wrong name, everything you try goes off course, the struggle drags on, and your faith in yourself runs dry. Do not dodge the light. Do not speak in half-truths. Say it straight. If you do not name the habit of dodging responsibility, every solution you try will miss the mark and keep you looping around. Look straight at the mistake. Point the finger at yourself. Stop making excuses. If you keep talking in vague terms, you will treat the wrong illness and keep repeating the same old rut. You will flounder, you will lose heart, your standards will slip. You need one clear rule to take yourself by the hand step out of the fog of explanations and stand in the light of truth. Each day, examine one choice you avoided. You must point to the exact behavior that needs fixing with no circling around. You win by cutting off vagueness, saying it right, and doing it right. What habit are you avoiding, naming the one that drags you down every time a decision is needed? If you do not dare to name it, what exactly are you fixing, and how will you fix it so it actually works? How many times have you said because of the circumstances and then stood still, stuffing discouragement into your own pocket? When was the last time you said that is on me? And what changed right after that sentence? Write one sentence of truth, put it where you will see it, so you will not fool yourself when your willpower dips. Call out one familiar avoidance behavior and draw a line under it. Pick one small situation to practice saying it right and doing it right today. You are turning truth into a steering wheel, and the right wheel will guide you out of the swamp of excuses inch by inch. Change direction the moment your mouth wants to circle around and use clear either-or pairings to block that old slippery slide. Do not cover it up, face it. Do not blame fate, own your share. Do not toss the blame to others. Pull it back to yourself and fix it for real. You are learning to be trustworthy with yourself, and trustworthiness is the base capital that lets all change take hold and grow. Set a short, tight, easy-to-remember structure so your mind cannot wander off when it is time to choose. Look straight. Name it right. Take responsibility. The simpler the structure, the faster the reflex, and the less you fall into the old trap of familiar rationalizations. There will be times you are tired, times you are bored, times no one claps for you, even though you just spoke a hard truth. Keep saying it right. Keep doing it right. Keep standing firm. Those moments of standing firm will bond into a foundation, and that foundation will hold you up whenever the wind picks up, without you needing to lean on anything outside yourself. You win by naming it right into a daily habit, not a rare event you dare to do only when someone is watching. Talk less. Begin. Be consistent. You are not chasing inspiration to tell the truth. You are laying tracks so truth runs in the right direction the moment you put your hands on the work. What words are you hiding behind today, and what delay are those words sugarcoating for you? Do you want a quick comfort or a real path that leads you out of the old loop? Do you choose to be the person at the wheel or the passenger, hoping the wind will change for you? What will you name exactly the very moment you read this line? If you need a picture, imagine an unlabeled box in the kitchen cabinet that you keep opening and shutting. You stick on it a label that is correct, short, and clear, then you place it where your hand can reach it easily. From then on, when you need it, you grab what you want without tearing the room apart. Labeling a behavior works the same way. Each time your hand reaches out, you know what you are touching and what to do next. Do not let selective memory retell a kinder story to flatter your ego, because that kinder story softens responsibility and hardens the old habit. Take paper and pen. Write it clearly. Read it again. You are creating proof of truth, and that proof will free you from the habit of remembering in the way that favors your weakness. When something goes wrong, play a short video in your head and freeze the frame at the exact moment you turn down the road of dodging responsibility. Name that moment. Mark that turn. Draw the right arrow again. The clearer it is, the less your brain will make things up, and the right action has a better chance to show up on time instead of arriving late after a flood of explanations. Build yourself a simple error map for 3 familiar areas: work, health, and relationships. Write down one representative mistake in each area. Write the real cause. Write the replacement behavior. Hang this map where you can see it, and you will not have to wrestle your memory every time your feelings try to pull you back to the old road. Every day you will catch yourself wanting to say, "I was busy, I was tired, they started it." Do not say it. Stop. Acknowledge your part. That acknowledgement resets your sights back to center, and your action flies true instead of shooting into the sky on the old trajectory of excuses. Practice a starter line for owning your mistakes so you do not slide back to the old zone. My part here is, say that line now. Add one more sentence. Fix one specific thing. The starter line unlocks the truth, and the written sentence anchors that truth so it does not get blown away when the gust of wounded pride fades. When you notice you just skipped a right task because you felt shy or uneasy, do not scold yourself at length for what is already past. Put your hands back on the work. Make it a small slice. Close it out. Let your body move first and your feelings follow, and you will see the old shame quickly recede into the background once the right thing is done cleanly. Do not argue with the excuse in your head as if the excuse knows logic. It only knows how to repeat what sounds nice and soothe a bruised ego. Mute it. Turn the work on. Move. Small movement will quiet the excuse, and when it stays quiet long enough, you will forget you ever thought it was the truth. When someone gives you accurate feedback, do not steer the story somewhere else to save face, because the face you save today will cost you ability tomorrow. Say thank you. Write it down. Choose one fix. One immediate fix beats 10 rounds of debate and debates about winning and losing never deliver the result you truly need. Do not expect to be undefeated against your feelings. You only need to be honest enough to turn the reflex of dodging into the reflex of owning. Pause for a beat. Name it clearly. Put your hands on the work. Repeat these 3 small moves and you will reset your inner operating system, and the new system will serve you better whenever life shakes you. You can test this in very ordinary moments, being called out for being late, missing a plan, messing up one step in a simple process. Own your part. Propose a fix. Get to work right away. Each time you do that, your self-respect rises, and that respect is the brace that keeps your back straight when the urge to blame comes knocking. If you have spoken out of turn and want to take it back, name it correctly. That is fear of judgment disguised as self-defense, not the objective truth you claimed. Accept it. Fix the way you speak. Keep the standard. You will be calmer next time because you saw that you did not shatter when you admitted you were wrong. In fact, you added another ring of growth the way a tree adds wood. When work piles up, the old habit will whisper, "No one can handle all this, leave it for tomorrow," and you will feel the urge to find someone to take the hard part. Stop. Name it dodging the hard thing. Choose one small slice. A small slice you do while learning is the overpass that gets you over the hill where the hard thing becomes trustworthy because you sliced it thin enough. Sometimes you will ask, are all the mistakes mine? What about the outside factors? Distinguish. Draw the line. Choose your part. Do not carry it all. Carry the part that is yours because that is the only part you have the right to adjust. The rest is a lesson about limits that needs to be respected. If your heart aches a little whenever someone speaks the truth, that is a good sign that your conscience is still sensitive to what is real. Do not mute it. Let it speak. Listen all the way. Do your part. The sharper your inner honesty, the cleaner the cut that removes the old habit, and a clean cut helps the wound close fast so new strength can grow. Starting today, take one question as your compass and put it where you can see it before any important task. What is my part? What is the real name of the problem? What is the next right action? These 3 questions are enough to guide you through the dangerous curve where the habit of excuses grabs the wheel and throws you into the curb. Do you want a real solution or a comforting pat on the back? And do you want to grow or only feel better for a few short minutes? Do you dare to name a behavior that makes you ashamed, then stay standing and calmly fix it? How much more evidence do you need to admit that blaming has never taken you where you wanted to go? What will you name exactly right after you close this page and step into the real life waiting outside your door? Begin with the smallest truth you can bear, because a small truth in the right place can unlock a big door. Begin today. Repeat tomorrow. Stack the days of winning. When you keep naming it right long enough, every correction will aim in the right direction, and you will go farther without straining the way you used to. Chapter 2, look in the mirror. See your role in every result. If you want to change the result, you must be willing to hold up an inner mirror and see your share in every choice. Life will not rearrange itself to suit you, but you can rearrange yourself so life makes more sense. Do not avoid the mirror. Do not blur the words. Do not bend the frame. Every result you currently own, good or bad, carries your fingerprint on each detail. Do not dodge. Do not pass it along. Do not break responsibility into pieces. If you do not claim your part, you will keep circling the same field where old excuses grow thick like damp moss. You will grow weaker. You will grow thinner. You will lose your rhythm. From here, set a foundational rule to steady the wheel and put the weight back where you can actually control it. Each day, ask, how did I contribute? You must pull responsibility toward yourself first. You win by fixing what is within reach. Will you point to one mistake and say, this part is mine when no one is forcing you to do it? How much of the error is yours, and how will you name it clearly? If you could change only one of your behaviors, which one would you choose? so you do not have to keep explaining yourself. Begin with a very everyday note. Write one honest line about your role and what just happened. Write briefly. Write the exact point. Write it straight. Once the words are clear, the next action will have a natural path instead of dragging a pile of reasons behind it. You need one compact move that brings you back to center whenever your mind slides toward blame. And that move must be truly simple. Place your hand on your chest. Say, "It is my turn." Choose one step. A specific gesture like that will close the mouth of impulsive emotion and open the way for clear reason to go first. Let us agree on a straight shift so you do not wander back to the old path when you are tired or triggered. Not pointing outward, but placing your hand on your chest. Not waiting for others to change, but adjusting your own steering. Not hoping for a miracle, but doing the next close step. When the contrasts are clear, your body remembers the route, and you will need far fewer long debates with yourself. Keep a crisp structure that puts your brain in work mode instead of storytelling. Look back. Own your part. Raise the standard. One 3-beat rhythm with enough force can replace those exhausting rounds of persuasion that never produce a real shift. Once you see your sticking point, you need to test on a small slice, learn from what you just saw, and move on cleanly. Test. Learn fast. Go forward. The cycle is short, but if you repeat it right, it clears the way for cleaner outcomes each time you show up. There will be times you are tired, times you are bored, and times no one claps for the clear admission you just made. Stand tall. Acknowledge it. Keep going. Those quiet moments are where your character thickens layer by layer, like old wood adding rings. You win by focusing on what you actually hold, making that part steady, and letting what you do not hold stay outside the edge. Choose within reach, do within sight, fix within arm's reach. Once the part you can do is clean, the rest rarely has enough force to slide you off track like before. Do you want to be right or do you want to get better? And how many times have you been right while your life did not improve? What can you control right now besides plain speech and one small action within reach? Who signs off on the outcome if not you, the person standing in this very room? When arguments flare, try shifting the goal from win the logic to win at life. Because life pays for behavior, not for points in a debate. Talk less. Get it done. Lock in the result. You will feel your self-respect rise faster than any praise you ever earned in old fights. Each time you claim your part first, you lighten the other person's heart and open the way for the shared work to flow. Say first, "I am wrong on this part." Propose the fix. Start now. That simple order removes needless tension and brings cooperation back onto the right track. To mirror yourself with structure, keep 3 bedtime questions for any moment that went poorly and tempts you toward excuses. How did I contribute? What did I miss? What will I fix? These 3 questions are like 3 latches closing the shortcut to justification and opening the door to quiet action. The habit of pulling responsibility to yourself first does not make you smaller. It makes you larger because you stand where real strength lives. Not shrinking, but standing tall. Not eroding standards, but raising them. Not waiting for the right mood, but doing the right thing. Once this habit becomes reflex, your feelings will rarely yank the wheel off the climb you need to take. Let the act of noting an error become a tight ritual rather than a long play under the spotlight of blame. Write one line. Choose one point. Make one clean cut. The shorter the ritual, the less the friction and the less time you waste in the waiting room of bruised pride. You may feel loaded with guilt if you look too closely, but remember you look to fix, not to punish yourself. Be objective. Say just enough. Do the right task. The fairer you are with yourself, the more power you have to be fair with others when you work together. When the plan slips, step into the light and name your part before your mind starts hunting for counter evidence to defend you. I was late on this section. I skipped that step. I will fix it this way. These simple lines put you in the position of taking responsibility, and that position is always the firmest base for progress. Each time you place your hand on your chest instead of pointing a finger outward, you teach your body a lesson in honesty without words. Take one deep breath. Claim one real part. Take one clean step. This coherent body language supports your mind, and your inner system grows less chaotic whenever the waves rise. Do not trick yourself into thinking others must change first before you have the right to live better, because that hands your key to someone outside the door. Do not wait to be pushed. Push yourself. Do not wait for a sunny day. Turn on the light. Do not demand an empty road. Take the narrow lane. Once initiative wires into your nerves, the reasons to wait rarely sound convincing anymore. At work, choose one small rule that shapes responsibility in a way that is easy to recall, easy to do, and easy to pass on. Do my part. Support the team's part. Report what remains. These three clear beats turn responsibility into visible behavior so no one has to read minds in exhaustion. In relationships, pause at the right moment before blame spills out and ask, did I raise the tension or lower it in this conversation? Lower the tone. Choose plain words. Keep clean intent. You are wiping the lens before you look at the person, and a clean lens always gives a fairer picture. When pride collides, most people argue until they win, but you choose to win the work because a finished task is the only real win. Own your part in silence. Fix the right thing. Close it cleanly. You will be surprised how much the relationship benefits from composure, and that composure comes from claiming responsibility early. If someone asks, but there is an objective part, right? You nod, then draw boundaries without emotion, so nothing gets mixed up. This is my part. That is the outside part. This other part depends on timing and conditions. When the lines are clear, you do not carry what is not yours, and you do not toss your part for someone else to pick up. Do you want growth, or do you want to keep the image of being always right, and has that image ever paid you any long-term return? Are you steering your breath, your words, and your next step, or are you letting your mood tow you like a wet leaf on the pavement? In the end, who signs the result, if not you, the one who put pen to this page from the first minute? Close the day with a light mirror ritual to strengthen the axis of responsibility deep along your spine. Name 3 things briefly. Choose one thing. Fix one thing right away. Tomorrow you will feel a smoother grip on the wheel because your inner map has been updated with honest data. When an old mistake returns, do not panic because the old path only shows that your new habit is not thick, yet not that you have failed. Be still for one beat. Claim your part gently. Do your part immediately. No speech is needed, only the right rhythm, and that rhythm will carry you through the narrow turn without spilling cargo along the way. Every grown person must write a responsibility commitment in their own hand, and so must you, beginning with small things. Write the header. Sign your name. Keep the signature. That document does not hang on a wall. It lives in the behaviors you repeat in small moments that decide the big picture. Looking ahead, you will need one sharp reminder to pull you off the old habit in heated situations. Where is my part? What is my task? Here is my next step. The shorter the reminder, the sharper it cuts, and when it is sharp, it slices away the fat of excuses wrapped around the muscle of action. Do not expect anyone to hand you a certificate of maturity because that certificate lives in your own eyes when you face the mirror and see yourself as fair. See enough truth, speak with enough clarity, act with enough solidity. When these 3 meet often, you will feel a new weight inside your chest, calm, reliable, and steady. Finally decide how you will retell your story each time you hit friction. Tell it to be right or tell it to get better. Tell it to get better. Write to see more clearly. Act to stand more firmly. You will notice the outside world soften in small ways as your inner steadiness grows, and that steadiness comes from one simple move. Claim your part first. Claim your part first. The rest will grow lighter. The road will grow brighter. Begin today by looking at your part in the nearest thing that irritated you and name it cleanly. Repeat tomorrow by fixing one detail within reach instead of arguing one point that belongs to someone else. Stack the small winning days until mirror checking becomes reflex and you stand steady in all conditions. Chapter 3, Cut the Excuses. Stop the because, therefore, routine now. You must look straight at the truth that making excuses is a habit that quietly erodes your ability and drags down every decent effort. It is like a parking brake that never releases the engine, roars, the wheels do not turn, and the whole trip stands still with a long sigh. Release the brake. Stop justifying. Shift into gear and go. Excuses are that same stuck parking brake keeping even well-intentioned people circling right in front of the starting line. You cannot move forward. You cannot grow up. You cannot trust yourself. If you do not cut the excuse, you will trade days for promises, trade opportunities for clever sentences, and trade self-respect for a few moments of comfort. You will grow numb. Your willpower will wear thin. Your backbone will crack. From now on, set new rules for yourself to block excuses before they open their mouth and lead you off course. Each day, spot one unnecessary reason and drop it. You must replace because, therefore, with despite, still. You win by doing it even when it is not convenient. Which excuse are you feeding most often whenever real work appears? If you drop that excuse for 7 straight days, what will sprout first inside you? Do you want comfort or do you want strength when you stand alone in a quiet room with no applause? Which excuse sounds good but keeps you frozen? And why do you cherish it so much? Put a reminder card where you can see it one straight line to flip the excuse the moment it shows its face. Write despite, still. Place it right in front of you. Read it out loud. Each reading resets your direction, and the right direction pulls your actions back onto their own track. The instant your mouth starts with because, therefore, switch the sentence structure and push the focus toward the nearest action. Say despite the rain still run. Say despite the fatigue still work. Say despite the tight space still organize. A small shift in words changes your body's trajectory, and a body on the right trajectory changes the final result. You must close off every escape route for excuses with simple pairings that the mirror cannot refute. Do not wait for a tailwind. Row yourself. Do not lament what is missing. Use what you have. Do not wait for an empty road. Step into the narrow lane. When these contrasts are trained into your reflex, the excuse snuffs out like a match made wet by self-respect. Now keep a 3-beat rhythm so your head does not chatter while your hands stand still. See the excuse. Break the excuse. Continue. One tight rhythm repeated correctly is strong enough to break the old loop before it tangles your feet like a knot of rubber bands. There will be times you are tired, discouraged, and unnoticed, even though you kept doing an ordinary thing with steady persistence. Keep your words few. Keep your actions many. Keep the progress clear. Your quiet will teach your body that this is necessary work, not a performance waiting for feedback. You win by keeping the minimum always present because the right minimum is the bridge that carries you through headwinds. One small task, one clean step, one finished segment. When the minimum is secured, the maximum has ground to grow the way sturdy habits grow from flexible discipline. Will you dare to name the excuse you are carrying like a small stone in your shoe? Then stop and take it out right now. Do you choose a small scratch on your pride or a deep crack in your trust in yourself? What is the bare minimum you can still do today if nothing is favorable? How will you answer when you yourself ask, what kind of life do I truly want to live? You need a very short anti-excuse ritual so you do not fall into a puddle of self-persuasion that sounds reasonable. Count to 1. Take 1 step. Close 1 part. The shorter the ritual, the less stage time for excuses, and the easier the work closes when it is not stretched by useless dialogue. Remove from sight the attention magnets that jam your gears like grains of sand, because each grain is an excuse dressed as innocent. Shut off the distraction, place the work on the table, Let your hands touch it. Once your hands are on it, the excuse loses its voice and the room's silence makes space for the sound of work being done. You only need one short speech frame to pin the excuse to the table and lock it down before it scratches your working rhythm. Say even so, still do it. Say regardless, still move. Say despite that, still finish. This frame is a small lock that snaps onto the excuse and holds the door while you walk through safely. Do not pray for the weather to change so the excuse runs out of lines, because excuses always keep a dictionary of reasons to stomp the brake right when you need to drive. Do not wait for sun. Turn on the light. Do not wait for emptiness. Adjust your rhythm. Do not wait to be free. Arrange the work. When you shift from wishing to doing, the excuse runs out of ground and you gain results you can trust. Each day, write down one excuse you caught in the act and how you snapped it clean, like wiping dust from the windshield before you drive. Write excuse spotted. Write broken by a small step. Write segment completed. These short lines are living evidence of self-management, and living evidence nourishes self-respect far better than any slogan. When an excuse puts on the robe of righteousness to sound noble, treat it the same way any righteousness that keeps you still is still an excuse. Flip the sentence, flip the angle, flip the habit. Flexible viewpoints strip excuses of their monopoly on interpretation and return the right to decide to you. Try a small experiment. Put the clock where it is out of sight. Put the tools where they are close and put your body in the starting position. Touch the work. Push one slice. Roll a little farther. Your body will teach your mind the lesson of momentum, and excuses never beat momentum that is pointing the right way. If someone asks, "But what if the conditions are too hard?" you nod, then restate the rule. Difficulty is context. Excuse is choice. You cannot change the rain. Change your jacket. You cannot silence all noise. Silence your own noise source. You cannot make things wider. Make them tighter. Simple rules hold your steering when the road is slick and the signs blur in front of your eyes. Keep a few ready starter lines for the moment your brain begins drafting excuses like a dry cloth waiting beside a fogged-up mirror. Say action first, feelings follow. Say task first, reasons later. Say slice first, big picture later. These starters reorder priorities, and the right order produces the right result without further debate. When you are tired, excuses get clever and borrow your own voice, so you must simplify the procedure for the bare minimum action. Stand up now. Pick it up now. Begin now. 3 short moves deflate the excuse, and once it is flat, the road ahead looks less bumpy to your eyes. Do not argue with an excuse as if it were a person, because an excuse has no ears for logic. It only has a mouth to repeat the habit. Turn it off. Turn the work on. Continue. With each continuation, you teach yourself a new meaning of the word freedom, freedom from a sweet story that costs too much. You win by turning the right action into a daily breathing rhythm, and breathing does not need applause to keep doing its job. Fewer words, more doing. Visible progress. When progress is visible to the eye, the excuse loses its role as narrator, and you become the writer of your own script. Do you want to become stronger or simply feel comfortable? And how far has that comfort taken you in these past years? If you cut one excuse today, which slice will you choose to prove you are no longer the old you? What is the minimum you can still do when everything that can be against you seems to be against you? Will you sign your name to one short line of despite, still, and do exactly that right now? Learn to smile at the excuse. Thank it for reminding you that you still have the power to choose. Then close the door politely and get to work. Smile lightly, nod lightly, close the door lightly. Disciplined gentleness confuses excuses because they are used to winning intense air and long self-justifications. When a team is dragged backward by many very reasonable because, therefore, lines, you are the one who changes the air with 3 visible beats. Do your part. Support the next part. Report what remains. These 3 beats need no speech, yet they can stop a forest of excuses right at the gate. Do not wait for applause before you release the brake, because applause never makes the wheels roll if the brake is still pulled. Release the brake. Nudge the wheels. Hold steady on the throttle. Once the wheels roll, you will see excuses fall behind, like dust wiped clean from a window with one neat motion. If an excuse fools you, once, do not convict yourself. Simply rewrite the script for the next scene and play it correctly. Fix the sentence. Fix the position. Fix the habit. Each fix takes back a bit of authority from the excuse, and that authority belonged to you from the start. Look at what the people you admire say when things are hard, and you will notice they rarely start a defense with because. They say even so, still do it. They say despite that, still move. They say rain or not, still run. Those lines are not magic. They simply put the lead role in the right place, the role of the doer. Finally, you need a private vow to tell your excuses that this house has new rules and no vacancy. Make one promise. Keep one promise. Live one promise. When a promise turns into behavior, your house is clear of excuses, like glass clear of dust, and your view stretches farther without changing the road. What do you want in the next 3 months? A collection of comforting stories or a string of small results that make you stand taller each morning? Will you try one day without saying because, therefore, and watch how your body tells a different story? Do you choose to let excuses speak for you? Or do you choose to take back your voice and say, despite, still, with calm? Which excuse will you cross out first the moment you close this page and step into the work that is waiting? Cut the excuse once cleanly the way you pick a stone from your shoe before you walk the long road. Begin today, repeat tomorrow, stack the winning days. When excuses lose their shelter, your steps grow smoother and the road ahead shortens in ways you did not expect. Chapter 4, Discipline. Set simple rules for yourself and keep them. You must accept a simple truth. Discipline is not something foreign. It is the ordinary habit you train yourself in every day. When you treat discipline as a companion, not a strict overseer, you will see the road straighten. Do not idolize it. Do not scare yourself. Do not complicate it. Discipline is the key that opens every door you want to pass through, and that key only turns when you twist it the right way with your own hand. You choose to turn. You choose to open. You choose to step. If you do not set simple rules for yourself, emotion will grab the wheel and steer you off at every familiar bend. You will drift. You will miss the beat. Your standard will slip. Each day you keep one small promise to yourself, like a stripe of paint marking the path home whenever the wind changes. Each day keep one small promise to yourself. You must act first, let feelings follow. You win by steady hands, no flare-ups. When this rhythm repeats long enough, you finish the silent foundation, and that silent foundation can hold up the roof of your ambition. What is the most minimal rule you can keep daily and have you live with it long enough to feel its power? When you do not want to do it, what do you do first to pull your body into position? Are you using feelings to decide or using decisions to lead feelings along? Place in front of you one small, clear behavior so your body has something to grip the moment your mind looks for an excuse. Touch the work. Do one slice. Close one section. Each closed section is a small brick, and the wall of character is built from exactly these very small bricks. Not a burst that fades, but steady at a pace you can carry for the long run without strain. Not complicating, but keeping it simple so you do not waste willpower on extra procedures. Not putting on a show, but keeping the beat. When the rule is lean, the brain resists less, the body hesitates less, and results become as calm as breathing. Set the rule, keep the rule, enjoy the result. A short cycle like that can replace any long speech that never gets your hands moving. Clear task, clear time, clear method. These 3 clears drain the pool of excuses, and where excuses run dry, action rises by itself the way still water parts for the oar. There will be days you are tired, days you are bored, days no one claps when you keep one small rule that no one sees. Keep showing up, keep finishing, keep going. When consistency does not require witnesses, you are signing a quiet contract with your future, and that contract always pays on time. You win by treating discipline as the rails that let the locomotive roll, not the chains that shackle a growing dream. Steady hands, right direction, long enough. The right rails feed momentum, and momentum frees you from the game of fiery spurts followed by tired slumps. When emotion grabs the microphone, take back the program with 3 simple moves that return control to behavior. Stand up, begin, do not stop. One firm 3-beat rhythm sends the body first, and feelings must follow without dragging you off course. Will you dare to choose one rule to live by instead of keeping a fragile list that shatters because you yourself cannot remember it? What makes you break your own rule, and what easy ritual will you use instead to replace that trigger? If there were only one rule, which rule would you choose to turn the key in the door that has blocked you for so long? Keeping a rule requires an everyday attitude like tending a charcoal stove. No fireworks, just adding wood at the right time so the flame does not die. Add small pieces. Keep the breeze moderate. Watch the flame. You do not need to be dazzling. You need to be durable. Durability is the language of quiet achievements that stand firm. Build a minimalist control panel into your day so you do not get lost in the noisy marketplace of choices. One main task, one time slot, one method. When the panel has only 3 buttons, you press the one you need, and everything else falls into the background. Whenever your mood rises and falls, remind yourself of discipline's role. It is the timekeeper, not the police officer. Keep it gentle. Keep it steady. Keep it clear. Your steady rhythm softens the rough edges of a hard day, and a hard day loses its special privilege to derail your pace. Do not wait for motivation like waiting on the weather, because weather swings up and down, while discipline is the jacket you can put on yourself. Do not beg the wind. Push yourself. Do not wish for sun. Turn on the light. Do not rely on luck. Execute. When this habit repeats, you will hear the engine humming evenly under the hood, and the car moves forward with certainty. Ask yourself a few short questions whenever you are about to break the rule to bring the game back onto the field you control best. What is the main task? What is the first step? What is the completion threshold? These 3 questions are just enough, not too much, to reorder priorities and press all impulses down under the table. When you slip, a simple rule is the sturdy handrail that helps you stand up quickly instead of scolding yourself at length and quitting halfway. Grab the rail, stand again, continue the work. You do not need big promises. You need the ability to return to the road the moment the wheel skids. Place a root phrase at the start of the day like a marker post you touch each time you pass the turn that often leads you astray. Task first, words later. Action first, feelings follow. Steady before surge. A root phrase is a lever, and the right lever in the right place can shift the lazy weight that sits like stone. At work, define done clearly so your mind does not pull you down the twisting alleys of perfection in disguise. Done means sent. Done means reviewed. Done means closed. When done is defined, you know when to stop, and discipline keeps you from wandering into roads you do not need. In relationships, discipline is keeping small promises so others can predict your rhythm and you can predict your own. Promise little. Keep it tight. Arrive on time. Reputation is not a signboard. It is the even footprints pressed into the ground because you arrive on time in silence. You should prepare a few healthy shortcuts to cross the swamp of fatigue without falling into impulsive rule breaking. Lower the difficulty. Lower the friction. Maintain the pace. A right shortcut does not reduce quality. It only trims the winding turns of your moods. When others invite you to blast and burn out, you smile and choose the steady tapping of a small hammer over the loud bang of a holiday firework. Light hand, steady hand, true hand. That even sound may seem dull at first, but it builds the strong bridge you will cross for many years. Install a switch to start where your hand can easily reach it, so whenever you hesitate, your hand finds the switch and flips it on. Pair a habit, pair a context, pair a cue. When the switch is right, starting feels as natural as stepping over a threshold, needing no extra pep talk. You may feel yourself pulled back to the old path a few times at the start, but do not call that failure. It is only the trace of an old trail. Observe calmly, repeat the rule, return to the rhythm. A new trail forms when you are patient enough to walk it often with an even stride. Let discipline be the ground of freedom, because freedom is not doing whatever you want, but doing what you have chosen even when feelings change color. Choose, then keep it. Keep it, then grow. Grow, then stand firm. Freedom stands on the shoulders of discipline, and discipline grows from small, visible acts repeated every day. Do you truly want a calm life that advances steadily, or a collection of bursts that flare and die? Will you dare to choose one rule to live by and place it above every choice in your day? Which key will you turn right now so the door in front of you opens smoothly? Choose one easy rule. Keep it until it no longer requires effort. Let the day come when you no longer think about discipline, because it has become the natural breathing in everything you do. Begin today with one clean rule so your hands have something to grip the moment your mood tries to jerk the wheel. Repeat tomorrow as a normal task, not a special event that requires fireworks and cheers. Stack the small winning days until the steady rhythm of discipline becomes the warm soundtrack of your whole life. Chapter 5. Environment. Arrange your surroundings so you do not have to strain. You must look again at your room, your desk, your phone, and even your travel schedule as a battleground that shapes your choices. When the environment is set up in the right places, you do not need to win with willpower every time, because the right task is already within reach. Do not fight alone. Do not spread your feelings thin. Do not set traps for yourself. A good environment saves you from having to win with willpower each time, because it cuts friction and lays a path for your hands and feet in advance. You strain less. You get discouraged less. You lose direction less. If you do not adjust your environment, temptation will sit in the front row, while the right task gets pushed to the edge of the desk and falls to the floor. You will hesitate. You will be distracted. You will break promises to yourself. Each day, remove one thing that drags you down the way you would pick a pebble from your shoe before the next uphill stretch. Each day, remove one thing that drags you down. You must keep the needed tool within arm's reach. You win by making the right choice easy. Once right becomes easy, you win before your willpower gets tired, and results arrive as naturally as steady breathing. What obstacle shows up right before you procrastinate? And what does it look like under true light without the powder of reasons? Where can you place the right task so it is hard not to do even when your mood dips? Who in your circle lowers the standard while you politely linger to be nice? Begin with 3 everyday clearing moves so your hands have something to grip without any slogans. Clear the desk surface. Silence the noisy notifications. Open the main tool. When the desk is clean, the noise is low, and the tool is open, your body will step into position automatically like a seasoned craftsperson at a workbench. Do not fight every temptation. Avoid it by moving it out of sight and out of reach before it finds a voice. Do not expect yourself to be made of steel. Lay a smart layout so you do not need steel for work that only requires habit. Do not build a maze. Open a straight path. A smart environment is the gentle parent of discipline, and discipline grows strong when it is fed by what is easy to reach and easy to see. Remove clutter. Place close. Begin now. That clean 3-beat rhythm turns a workday into a chain of low-friction choices, and low-friction choices produce many finished tasks. Less friction, less hesitation, more completion. When completion has a fixed home in your space, your self-respect thickens like wood adding rings year after year. There will be days of fatigue, days of boredom, days when everything is scattered on the desk and in your head like a half-finished house clean. Gather one small pile, Swipe away one extra thing, set one needed item. Each small rhythm that restores order pulls you out of overwhelm, and outer order quiets inner noise. You win by treating the environment as a silent assistant that always pre-clears the path so you can simply step in and do your part. Prepare minimally, lay things out for easy reach, keep pathways clear. Then you do not need to brace yourself every morning because the path has already been taped in a straight line to the right task. What is your current space saying about your choices when the needed tool lives in a far corner while temptation sits right by the handle? If you could change only one thing today, what would you change first to mute procrastination? Will you turn your desk so the screen faces the calm zone, not the noisy zone? Use a short power-up ritual to declare clear to proceed without a speech. Place the water bottle by your hand. Open the right document. Close the phone. The shorter the ritual, the easier it is to keep. What is easy to keep becomes consistency, and consistency becomes calm confidence. Do not stage your environment like a variety store. Stage it like a craftsperson's tool bench, where you know exactly what to use and when. Do not mix drawers, divide them. Do not display, put away. Do not keep changing. Standardize. When an object has an address, you lose less time searching and waste less energy relocating. Post a blacklist of temptations right where they tend to break in, so you do not have to negotiate every time they knock. Turn off autoplay. Turn off noisy banners. Turn off junk pop-ups. Once the door shuts, the noise drops, and when the noise drops, the right voice becomes clear. Trust the power of place. It close because the brain dislikes long routes, and the body is happy when the needed thing lies under your hand. Put the book on the desk. Put the shoes by the door. Put the notebook by the chair. Intentional placement turns the right action into reflex, and the right reflex is the cleanest shortcut through hesitation. In your friend group, the people environment matters as much as the object environment because moods spread faster than you think. Closer to the light, farther from the dark. Stay on standard. A circle set to the right standard lifts you in silence, and the silence of standards is stronger than long-winded advice. Are you letting conversation spill into your slippery hours, pushing the main task to the edge of the desk to wait for repeated apologies? Can you change the frame? Change the chair, change the seat so the talk shortens and the main task returns to center stage. Who should you stand closer to for borrowed rhythm? And who should you stand farther from to protect your standard? At home, set charging stations for your right habits so they have a place to live the way you place an outlet by the desk instead of under it. A reading corner, a workout corner, a writing corner. When a corner has a name, a habit has a home. With a home, a habit fights less with nameless temptations. Do not pretend to be steel. Be smart by reducing small decisions because small decisions steal energy from big ones. Do not keep resisting. Take the long way around temptation. Do not keep every convenience. Choose a few strong tools. The fewer frivolous options you keep, the more room there is for the right choice to grow without crowding. When you face a chaotic space, you do not need to clean the world. You only need to clear a runway so the plane can take off. Sweep one path, clear one pile, open one spot. A runway long enough allows takeoff, and once airborne, your trajectory pulls the rest into order. If you must work in noise, you can still raise a soft wall with headphones, a gentle background track, and a chair turned the right way. Turn your back to the noise. Turn your eyes to the task. Turn your hands to the tool. 3 small turns change the air around you, and when the air changes, habits change too. Each evening, return objects to their homes so you do not spend your first breaths tomorrow on a pointless search. Into the box, onto the slot, into the tray. Small order tonight protects tomorrow, and tomorrow thanks you with a start that does not stumble. You win by treating setting the field as part of the job, not something extra, because without a road, even good wheels get stuck. Minimal preparation, smart layout, light execution. Your strength lies in how you design the contact between you and the right work. The fewer sharp corners, the less blood spilled. Are you holding your phone like a remote control for your life, where each alert jerks the wheel off the road you planned? Will you move the attention thieves into a distant folder, like changing the address of a noisy guest? Are you willing to trade 11 square feet, which is about 1 square meter of tidy space, for a whole afternoon of calm? Do not play hero on a bad road. Resurface the road first, then walk with the normal steps of a clear-headed person. Do not give yourself extra trials. Lower the grade. Do not brag about multitasking. Work in one stream. Do not accept a little messy. Clean it properly. You are not proving anything. You only want a smooth life, and smooth comes from design, not from impulse. When the team gathers, standardize the shared corner so the main task does not drown in random noise from wandering objects. One clean whiteboard, one clear center table, one shared tool tray. Shared homes for objects create a shared rhythm for people, and a shared rhythm grows reliable speed. In the kitchen, in the garage, in the backpack, you can draw straight lines so your hands move without snagging on a hook. A straight path for the knife, a straight path for the hammer, a straight path for the pen. The straighter the path, the smoother the motion, and smooth motion is the daily music of an orderly life. You may ask, what if the home is small, the desk is small, and there are many people? The answer is still wise design within limits. Fold the extra, store the seldom used, share time slots. Limits are not enemies. They are molds that shape your habits into cleaner lines. If someone in your circle pulls the standard down with long stories and invitations off the road, you need to redraw the boundary. Reduce frequency, reduce duration, increase distance. Distance is a polite glass wall, and that glass wall lets you see each other without being dragged by each other. Are you sitting in a chair turned away from the right task, then wondering why you return to the old path the moment you sit? Can you rotate about 5.5 square feet of workspace, which is about half a square meter shift, about 20 inches of light, which is about half a meter, and place about 20 inches of quiet buffer, which is about half a meter between you and the noise right now? Will you write a list of 3 things that must leave the desk and clear them in 10 quiet minutes? At day's end, lock the field like a kind but strict gatekeeper, so tomorrow opens without stumbling. Silence noisy lights. Stow the charging cables. Close the junk tabs. Tomorrow will lift its feet more softly, and that softness is your gift to yourself, a morning without old debts. No one will rescue you from a bad environment except you, and the good news is you have the right to rearrange it from where you stand. Move the objects, move the people, move yourself. 3 small moves can push the whole train onto the right track, and a train on the right track needs no siren to stay alert. Do you want to keep swimming upstream in a river of temptations, or do you want to cut into a calm canal where you can row steadily and watch the shore come closer each day? Do you choose to complicate life with cluttered corners, or to simplify it with clear straight lines? What will you remove from the desk, from the screen, and from your head right now to make room for the right work? Lay out the field for easy reach. Walk the easy path to action. The easy path is not laziness. The easy path is the route you build so the right work can win from the very first step. Begin today with one decluttering move and one place within reach move so your body enters the work without a prompt. Repeat tomorrow as a short, warm opening ritual so your mind recognizes this as the home of good habits. Stack the small winning days until the environment around you becomes a gentle friend, and all you need to do is step in and do the work. Chapter 6, Commitment. Say less, keep more. Commitment is not a slogan on a wall. Commitment is what you quietly finish when not a single eye is watching. Say less. Keep your word. Finish first. Real commitment is what you do when no one is looking, and that audience-free moment is what measures your backbone. Do not wait for praise. Do not need to prove. Do not ask your feelings for permission. If you keep promising and do not keep it, you drop your self-respect and turn your own trust into cheap decoration. Self-respect thins. Results run out of breath. Trust goes hollow. So choose to live by a quiet rule. Finish what you told yourself you would, so each day you can look straight into the mirror. Each day, finish what you promised yourself. You must prioritize keeping your word over explaining your word. You win by compounding credibility with yourself. Which promise have you owed yourself for so long while you keep saying tomorrow as a warm escape? Do you want to be trusted or be praised? And which one stays with you longer when the lights go out? When was the last time you kept your word in silence, and how much straighter did you stand afterward? Design a small ritual that locks the mouth of excuses and opens the door for action to walk through ahead of any commentary. Open the work. Put your hands on it. Lock the door on talk. Do not promise wide. Execute tight, because swollen promises feed the ego, while tight behavior feeds real results. Do not broadcast that you are working. Finish quietly, because the noise of fake progress only covers the empty space of not yet starting. Do not paint a future. Deliver. Promise less. Hold fast. Build trust. Trust grows little by little when you pay yourself on time without invoices or stamps. Decide. Execute. Result. When these three beats click, life dances less to feelings and the road twists less with the wind outside. You will have tired afternoons, dull hours, and moments when no one claps for the small finish you just clicked into place. Keep showing up. Keep doing your part. Keep closing. This is how you fill the vault of inner credit with small deposits steady seen by no one but you. Fewer words, more keeping, greater clarity. So what will it be, chasing short-lived praise or living with long trust that you sign for yourself every day? What will you do when there is no reason left to postpone only the truth that the task belongs to you? Will you answer yourself? Keep the promise first. Explain later and leave the chair right now. Write exactly one sentence clear like a pencil line on a smooth table so your hand can grip it when your will wants to slide. Write shorter. Write the point. Write to do. When your mouth is about to add more words, return to the simple rhythm that frees your energy from the waiting room of self-narration. Open the file. Run one slice. Close one small part. Do not feed an audience in your head. Feed credibility with yourself, because the audience leaves after applause, but credibility stays when every light is off. Do not keep negotiating. Close the deal, because endless bargaining cheapens your own signature. Do not borrow the weather. Borrow resolve. Install a start switch where your hand naturally reaches, so reflex leads the way instead of feelings leading you in circles. Touch the switch. The light turns on. The work follows. Learn the line between talking pretty and finishing fully, because only one word done pays interest to the future you want to own. Tie down the thought, tie down the hands, tie down the words. Commitment does not need a stage. It needs a stable surface where you set one brick in the right spot, then tomorrow set the next. One more brick, one more row, one wall. Which promise do you still owe yourself? And why are you paying with words instead of with work? Are you confusing being praised with being trusted, chasing yourself to exhaustion in a noisy hunt? Which action will you use today to pay the debt small enough that it cannot slip out of your hands? When someone asks how far along are you, you do not need to tell a story. You simply put the finished part on the table like a signed paper. Show the finished part, push the next part, block a quiet slot. Do not build the habit of promising to be loved. Build the habit of finishing to be trusted, because trust is the most durable kind of love. Do not chase cheers. Chase cadence, because cadence is the language of self-respect that honors its own signature. Do not wear costumes. Build core strength. Remember, every time you keep your word, you plant another mile marker down the center line, and those markers let you drive safely at night. One more marker. One more beat, one bright stretch. Which promise has made you blush when you remember it? And this time, which nearest slice will you use to wipe the blush clean? Can you stop talking when the next sentence is just a handful of sugar meant to soothe slow progress? Can you look up, take one breath, and take one true step right now? Commitment is how you lay rails so the engine runs smooth, not rattled by the marketplace whistles of instant emotion. Rails straight, coals steady, the engine rolls. Each evening close the book with a short question so the small flame burns in the right stove and not in a stage show. Did I keep my word? What part is done? What part is scheduled next? Do not expand slogans. Narrow behavior, because a narrow behavior in the right spot swings the wide door at the right time. Do not leave escape routes for excuses. Leave a clear route for your hands so your hands find the work before your mouth finds an excuse. Do not rely on inspiration, rely on mechanism. Turn pen and paper into a self-signed contract where every word is a hammer blow driving the nail of trust deeper. Sign one line, drive one nail, set one lock. Whose trust do you want most, if not your own? The person who will travel with you on climbs and flats to the very end. Are you building a file of compliments or a history of reliability, and which one holds you steady when the waves rise? Will you let the finished part speak in place of explanation starting today? Commitment is the sport of ordinary people, no special talent required, only steady hands, and steady hands are a talent of their own. Steady first, harvest later, stand for the long run. If you once missed a promise to yourself, treat it as a memo, not a sentence, so you can return to the work table at once. Turn the chair back, open the work, sign again. Do not build monuments to worship. Build a sturdy chair to sit and work, because a sturdy chair is what you need every day. Do not wish for more banners and confetti. Add more finished pieces, because banners arrive late and leave fast, but finished pieces stay. Do not wait for a soundtrack. Tap your own rhythm. Promise less. Hold fast. Build trust. Repeat these 3 beats enough, and your life will have less noise while your steps carry more weight in every room. Decide. Execute. Result. Each time you complete the set of 3, you pull closer to a version of yourself who keeps promises so well, there is no need to think about it. Are you ready to choose one most important promise this week and turn it into evidence without repeating it out loud? Will you place the paper where you will see it each morning so you cannot ignore your own signature? What will you begin with that is small enough, close enough, and real enough? Write the promise, pay yourself on time, then repeat. Begin today with one quiet finish, so tonight you can say done without dressing it up with words. Repeat tomorrow like a breath light, steady and without an audience. Stack the days of kept promises until you no longer seek trust outside, because the trust inside is more than enough for every journey. Chapter 7 Standards. Raise your own standard, do not compare. If you want to change your life, you must raise the ceiling in the room where your personal standards set the air you breathe. Low ceiling bent back, high ceiling open chest. Change the standard, change the life. Personal standards are the ceiling you live under. Lift it one notch and the air around you changes at once. No miracle needed. New standard needed. Keep it long enough. If you let good enough become the rule, every next step will slide toward ease, and turning back will be hard. You will wear down. You will loosen your grip. You will miss the mark. Each day, raise your working standard by one small notch, like tightening a single bolt on the car you're driving. You must compare yourself with who you were yesterday, not with someone on a different road, a different hill, a different wind. You win by refusing to compromise with good enough the moment it flickers like a yellow light at the turn. Set this simple rule as your base, and you will feel the road straighten your mental muscles, sharpen, and your rhythm sway less. What is your good enough burning away that you refuse to name clearly? Which standard have you allowed to sag without noticing because your eyes have grown used to it? If you increase quality by a very small part, which part should rise first to create momentum for the rest? Begin with one plain, everyday behavior. Clean the surface of the work before you lay hands on it, the way you wipe the windshield before you look at the road. Fix one small mistake until it is truly right. Do not leave it sit like a pebble in your shoe. Set one done criterion so you do not drift with your feelings. These small moves give your standards a place to grip, and once they grip, the new standard will not slip from your hands. Do not chase achievements. Chase quality, because achievements can be borrowed, but quality must be made by your own hands. Do not compare with people. Compare with yourself, because their measuring stick sits on a different ground and does not point your way. Do not make standards fussy. State them so simply that anyone can understand them, especially you on a tired day. When principles are clear, you negotiate less with yourself, and your best self has more chances to show up. Clean it. Make it solid. Make it thorough. These 3 beats pin the structure of your standards so that each time you show up, the product shows up with the same quality. Clear standard, sufficient standard, consistent standard. When these 3 stand upright, your lane grows smoother and trust rises like a heart settling into a steady rhythm after training. There will be tired days, dull moments, stretches with no applause even though you raise the bar one tiny notch. Lift a little more. Hold steady a little more. Stand tall a little more. Those small moments link into a strong spine, and a strong spine ensures every shaky stretch of road. You win by setting a red line that forbids sliding back and a green line that allows one more notch within your strength. Raise one detail. Keep one rhythm. Check one pass. As this simple engine repeats, you see progress with your own eyes, no praise needed. Which cost is my good enough? Burning money time or self-respect? Will you dare to ask yourself that? Will you dare to scrap a sloppy task and do it again the right way, even if no one forces you to turn back? Who is allowed to audit your standard? And why does that person deserve to hold the ruler for your steps? Do not turn standards into a distant monument. Turn them into familiar tools that your hands touch every day. Hands touch the surface. Eyes touch the detail. Heart touches the discipline. When standards live close, the body stops fearing them, and less fear is a clear signal to move forward. Use a 3-point sight to fuse quality into everything instead of letting feelings drift. Clear criteria. Clear measurement, clear stopping point. What is clear draws less argument. Less argument means more doing. More doing lets quality stay without force. If others measure you by noisy achievements, calmly measure yourself by quiet quality, because noise fades faster than you think. Do not run after rankings, run after craftsmanship. Do not beg for certificates, let the work speak. Do not tolerate loose corners. Tighten them. In the end, those tight corners hold up the whole building, even when the wind rises and people forget the builder's name. Set a minimum floor that never drops in work and relationships and in health, so no choice falls below the new base. No below the floor. No off the axis. No blurred lines. When the floor lifts, everything on the floor gets cleaner, like swapping an air filter and feeling your breath lighten at once. Each day, raise one small notch where looseness comes easiest, because looseness is where standards fall first. Raise the clean. Raise the solid. Raise the thorough. These 3 raises need no certificate, but everyone can feel them when they touch the result you leave on the table. You may fear being called picky, but being hard on yourself so life is easier for others is the craft of those who respect people. Hard on sloppiness, hard on half measures, hard on excuses. When you are hard on the right things, everyone else breathes easier in their part, and shared work cracks less at sloppy joints. Do not let getting it done bury doing it right, because getting it done the wrong way breeds near-future problems that are hard to fix. Do not skip steps. Walk the right steps. Do not cut corners. Cut tangles. Do not run to keep up. Run to standard. When the criteria change, speed finds a sustainable level on its own, and sustainability is what you need for the long road. Place one simple control question in front of yourself whenever you finish any part of the day's work. Is it clean? Is it solid? Is it thorough? If all 3 are yes, allow yourself to stop. If not, send it back to the bench and correct the missing part. You ask, how do I raise it without becoming a perfectionist? Raise a little. Raise the right spot. Raise it again. Perfectionism demands flawlessness everywhere. Raising the standard pushes one right point repeats enough, and the next right point learns from it. In a team, honor technical truth with specific feedback, not vague praise, that unknowingly loosens the standard. Praise the right spot. Point to the exact stress. Fix the right joint. A feedback culture as clear as a blueprint lifts every craft without hanging banners. At home, tend to the home standard by keeping the base clean, keeping small promises, and keeping speech plain at mealtimes. Less trash words, less tangled tasks, less haste. When the home standard holds the outside standard, slips less because habits do not know the difference between stage and backstage. Will you pull the plug on the socials that drag your standard down just because they are crowded and chase away boredom for a moment? Reduce frequency, reduce duration, reduce closeness. The right distance is a soft fence that keeps the garden to the right flowers, and the right scent needs no advertisement. If someone may check your standard, choose a person who dares to tell the truth, does not soothe your ego, and is not afraid to offend. Choose the direct one. Choose the meticulous one. Choose the steady one. That person is a flat mirror. In a flat mirror, you see every scratch, and only visible scratches get sanded in the right place. Ask, which standard have I allowed to sag without noticing? Then scan the four corners: the work corner, the people corner, the health corner, the words corner. Which corner gathers dust? Which corner has a loose screw? Which corner hides an old habit? Once named, put your hand on the nearest one, because the nearest one gives the lever its longest arm. You win by turning one notch up into a breathing rhythm, not a campaign, so the body stops fearing and the mind stops dramatizing. Raise gently. Raise steadily. Raise the right thing. A calm, rising rhythm lets you go far without breaking pace like a charcoal stove that warms gradually instead of a firework that flares and dies. When you revisit an old task you once did sloppily, return not to scold yourself, but to settle the debt you owe your standard, because a debt of standard grows moldy if left too long. Take it apart, sharpen it again, fit it back in. Late thoroughness is better than early carelessness, and people trust the later right more than the earlier fast. Are you ready to erase one? Let it slide from your vocabulary and replace it with, do it over right, even if no one but you will notice. Will you lift your inner ceiling by one tiny notch? So tomorrow morning you stand a bit straighter. Can you choose one standard to lift right now and make it the new floor for every next choice? Choose one standard to lift. Keep it as the new floor, then move on. Begin today by correcting one nearest detail, like tightening the loose bolt you touch every day. Repeat tomorrow by running a 3-point check, clean, solid, thorough. Then stop at the right time so you last on the long road. Stack the days of small raised standards until the inner ceiling climbs a notch and the air you breathe grows brighter. Chapter 8, Small Actions. Win with short but steady steps. If you want to last on the long road, do not chase fireworks. Gather small visible steps and repeat them until your hands are steady. Small steps do not show off, but they fill the space between the shouts and turn intention into a clear path. Do not rush. Do not wait to be in the right mood. Do not forget to show up. Small steps taken steadily beat every burst that flares and dies, because real momentum is born from friction in the right place at the right time. Keep it steady. Keep it straight. Keep it tidy. If you keep storing up energy for one big push to finish everything you will hand today to a sweet-talking illusion, you will keep waiting. Your hands will grow tired. You will miss the standard. Day after day, you close the gaps with visible pieces of work, so self-respect has a place to grip and grow quietly. Each day, finish one small visible unit. You must break it down until it is hard not to do it. You win by quiet accumulation. When a task becomes so small that it is hard not to do, the wind tilts toward you before your feelings can object. What is the smallest step to start if you had to act right now without a long warm-up? What keeps making you want one big batch, then walk away when tired? What evidence do you have that small and steady is not more effective than bright bursts that fizzle out? You shift from wishing to doing with 3 everyday moves that pull your body from the chair into the right position. Lay out the tool, open the right file, run the first slice. These 3 moves lock the door on excuses and set the rails so the engine runs smooth, not rattled by the noise in your head. Do not wait to change your life. Change your habits, because habits are the quiet gears that shift your life map one notch at a time. Do not leap, inch with certainty, because steady inching keeps you durable on uphill climbs where the wheel slips easily. Do not spread thin, focus your point. When you shift weight to repeatable behaviors, you bend your own trajectory toward standing tall for the long run. Break it down, begin, finish. This 3-beat structure is strong enough to replace any slogan because it aligns your head, your hands, and your feet. Join the pieces, form the block, form the result. When the small pieces fit, you see real mass instead of stories, and confidence follows what the eyes can see. There will be tired days, bored afternoons, and moments with no applause when you quietly mark one piece as done. Keep closing the piece. Keep the rhythm. Keep the silence. You are building inner momentum, and momentum does not need an audience to keep doing its job. You win by resetting priorities, piece before picture, task before feelings, repetition before speed. Do this piece, join the next piece. Maintain the rhythm. When the rhythm holds, you naturally get faster without strain because inertia leans your way. Do you want to live on a few explosions or stand firm on calm, daily momentum? Which piece will you do the moment you close this page to prove you no longer wait for a perfect moment? When you are tired, what is the minimum piece you can still do to keep your word without breaking the beat? Make the small visible unit your new currency and spend it on the future you want. One clean paragraph, one careful page read, one tidy workout. The clearer the unit, the lower the starting friction, and the easier your body steps forward without fuss. Do not let fake perfection build a ladder so high that you do not put your foot on the first rung. Do not decorate, do the real thing. Do not admire, copy correctly. Do not hesitate, touch the work. Once your foot is on the first rung, the second usually appears as if it had been waiting there all along. Each time you finish a piece, you tap another nail into the frame of self-respect so the frame does not shake when the wind shifts. One more nail, one more mark, one more row. The frame stands straight, the door opens and closes smoothly, and the noise outside pushes in less. Post a short reminder where you can see it, so you return to the small piece whenever feelings try to grab the microphone. Peace first, heat later, praise later. The right reminder pulls you out of the swamp of reasons and sets you on the ground of visible action. If you keep sketching big plans and then getting tired, shrink the size until your hand reaches for it without a sigh. Lower the difficulty, lower the requirement, lower the prep steps, shrink it deep enough, and reluctant to do becomes reluctant not to start, which is exactly what you need. You may think small means slow, but remember the long road is decided by steady cadence, not rare sprints. Steady cadence wins. Stable momentum wins. Even days win. When you win by steadiness, you are surprised how close the destination really is compared with the map you imagine. In a team make-piece, done the shared language so no one needs long speeches about progress. Assign a clear piece. Hand over the real piece. Close the piece cleanly. A group speaks with bricks laid down, and a wall has a stronger voice than any brightly colored slide. At home, hang habit hooks by the path, so every glance nudges your hand toward a small task of your own. Hang the shoes ready, hang the notebook ready, hang the towel ready. The right hooks turn your home into straight lines, and straight lines are the shortest route through laziness. When your mood drops, choose a minimum package that does not break the rhythm, so you do not rebuild momentum from zero after every dip. One light round, one short stretch, one clean finish. The right minimum keeps the string from going slack, and if the string still has tension, the next song hits the right note. You win by training your body to show up first and let feelings learn to follow like a child stepping after an adult. Show up first, move first, close first. When showing up is reflex starting is no longer a battle. It is a light ritual. Are you treating social media like dessert at the start? Leaving the main course of your day to cool on the table? Will you reverse the order, finish a piece first, reward after? So your brain learns who is really in charge. Which piece will you place by your hand right now? Do not try to fix your whole life in one sitting. Fix one habit in one place and repeat it until it becomes a path. Do not skip stages. Set the latch. Do not keep changing axes. Hold the line. Do not hunt big results. Grow small habits. The right path carries you forward even when your mind is elsewhere. See small steps as paving stones in a courtyard. None is grand, but the whole yard is flat because ordinary stones were laid in straight rows. Lay the line straight. Keep the gaps even. Tap lightly. A flat yard gives strong footing, and strong footing makes the long road easier. When you want to quit, ask one question only. What is my minimum piece to keep the rhythm? Then do it like brushing your teeth. Do it now. Stop debating. Stop waiting for the mood. The right question puts you back in the driver's seat, while debate drops you into the passenger seat. When the group invites fireworks, you smile and choose the small rhythm because small rhythm gives you depth, while fireworks only give you noise. Quiet yet steady, small yet solid, modest yet forward. Choose depth and you will fear fewer days without fireworks because your heart has learned its own beat. If you fall out of rhythm, do not sentence yourself with long self-accusations. Return with a piece as small as placing your foot back on the starting line. Stand up first. Take a light step first. Close a small piece first. Fast return is a skill, and that skill is trained by many returns, not by one grand promise. You win by letting finished pieces speak instead of narrated pieces, because much talking heats the mouth while much finishing warms the heart. Less telling, more finishing, keep it steady. A warm heart is willing to keep going, and the road favors the patient more than the loud. Do you want to stand with results or stand with stories? And how many times have stories paid you with counterfeit warmth? Will you try one day with only one metric? How many pieces are done instead of promises with no paper trail? Are you ready to close one piece right now to unlock the second? Do a small piece now, repeat a small piece tomorrow, then keep going. Begin today with the shortest visible step you can do in silence. No drums or trumpets. Repeat the same step tomorrow until your body knows the route and your mind stops demanding a perfect warm-up. Stack the days of small pieces so that when you look back, you see a level road you paved yourself with patient hands. Chapter 9, Relationships. Choose people who lift you up. You must understand that people are the substance of your environment, and the human environment soaks into you faster than you think. You become like the people you stay near. Choose each relationship carefully and you will live in line with the standard you want to keep. Do not be easygoing. Do not be deferential. Do not dream of being neutral. If you stand in a crowd that drags the standard down, you will hunch with them and then wonder why the road keeps tilting uphill. You will slow down. You will lose your axis. You will shrink. Each day, give one less hour to those who pull you down and give that time back to the right work and the right people around you. You must add one touch for those who lift you up so their rhythm becomes the bass rhythm that raises your own ceiling. You win by standing inside a group with standards where good habits are normal, not rare exceptions. When the right community is close, you do not need to strain because the shared atmosphere nudges you in the right direction without many reminders. Who makes you want to raise your standard the moment you are near them, even if they say very little? Who makes you drop one notch after every meeting, then tells you it is fine? Are you choosing community for comfort or for growth? And is the price you pay worth the future you want? Begin with very ordinary moves. Clean your contact list, tidy your group chats, and rearrange the cafe table where you often sit and drift off course. Send a message that says, "I need to focus," politely and firmly. Trade a noisy coffee shop for a quiet corner. Trade chatting hours for working hours. These small changes in your people context pull your mind out of the swamp of social fluff and return a straight road to the work that needs you. Do not cling. Stand on your own, because leaning on the wrong arms makes you weaker and harder to leave when it is time to grow. Do not favor familiarity. Honor values, because familiar is not a credential and values are the true measure of influence. Do not save face. Keep the standard. When principles are clear, you step lightly but firmly, and relationships tangle less because the boundaries are right. Filter the people, filter the habits, filter the sources. These three tight filters turn a noisy world into a clean channel where useful signals ring louder than static. Closer to the light, farther from the dark. Stay on standard. This is the minimal map for relationships. Move toward the bright, leave the shadow, and stand where standards live. There will be days of temporary loneliness when you leave the lively crowd, and there will be itchy afternoons when you want to return just to feel familiar. Keep standing tall. Keep quiet. Keep steady. Short loneliness is a low price for depth, and depth feeds you longer than the crowd's noise. You win by redesigning your schedule of contact, fewer empty touches, more meaningful touches, and long enough for the new rhythm to soak into your bones. Meet people with standards. Listen to what is true. Do real work together. When you work together, relationships step past small talk into the power zone, where shared results become the strongest bond. Do you want to follow the easy praise of the many, or walk with a few who demand more and lift you higher? Will you say no to invitations that lower the standard, even if they come from old friends? If you could keep only 3 relationships, who would they be? And why do they deserve the front row in your life book? Each day, swap one hangout for one working session, so friendship grows a spine and shared output becomes the proof. One joint reading session, one joint workout, one joint build. When you sweat together over one flat surface, affection grows less hollow and respect rises with each finished piece. Do not let politeness become the excuse that keeps you where your season has ended, because the hidden cost of politeness is a falling standard. Do not call it betrayal, call it growth. Do not call it snobbish, call it having a standard. Do not call it cold, call it clear. You do not hate anyone. You are choosing a new axis to protect the structure you are building with your own hands each day. Remember, the person you sit next to shapes the story. You hear the story. You hear shapes your thinking, and your thinking shapes what your hands do. Choose your people carefully. Choose your stories carefully. Choose your work carefully. This chain of right choices leads to a tidy life where energy does not leak into invisible holes. When you are tired, it is easy to drift toward the loud crowd because noise gives the feeling of belonging, while quiet asks you to face unfinished work. Pause for one beat. Look at the standard. Return to the road. One clear beat pulls you out of craving voices and returns you to the project that needs you now. You win by setting an entry threshold for relationships close if they keep standard, distant if they do not, and observe quietly if you are unsure. Be clear first. Be respectful next. Bond for the long term. Clarity protects everyone because each person knows their place inside the structure you are keeping. Will you accept losing a few aimless gatherings in exchange for a few quality hours with those who make you lift your standard? Are you allowing noise sources to live in your phone living room or on your desk without revoking their license? Are you ready to write down 3 names of people you should stand closer to this month and start one real project together? Step 1 step out of the pulling down zone. Step 1 step into the lifting up zone. Change your companions, you change your road, and the new road changes the way you tell your life story. Begin today with a short call to a bright person to discuss one real task, not an empty story. Repeat tomorrow with a polite, "I will not join to an invite that lowers the standard." Stack the days of standing in the right circle until you look around and see yourself growing supported by steady shoulders right beside you. Chapter 10, Consistency. Stay on the long road until you win. You must practice the habit of holding your line on the road you have chosen even when results arrive slowly and noise tries to jerk the wheel. The strength of a consistent person does not come from fleeting luck. It comes from the habit of returning to the road every time your mood changes color. Do not veer off. Do not rush. Do not scare yourself. Consistent people do not win by luck. They win by refusing to leave the road because the road pays only those who travel it to the end. Keep showing up. Keep the rhythm. Keep moving. If you keep changing targets according to your feelings, you will burn your momentum into brief sparks that die quickly in a headwind. You will quit halfway. You will lose confidence. You will owe yourself. Each day show up even when it is imperfect, so your body learns the reflex of being present before your mind starts to negotiate. You must stand up faster than the fall so shame cannot harden into stones under your feet. You win by refusing to leave the line even if today you only move a small visible stretch. When these three repeat long enough, the road remembers your footsteps and your footsteps remember the road without needing any cheering. What will you do when results have not arrived? Silence stretches on, and others have turned down side streets to feel less bored. What holds you in place after the next stumble, besides a sentence as steady as a roadside marker? How many times have you quit only because of temporary boredom, and how often has that temporary boredom pushed you back to the starting line? Begin with 3 everyday moves to keep yourself in your lane with no fanfare and no long explanation. Put your hands back on the work. Close one small section. Stand up one more time. Those 3 moves are the latch that keeps the door of consistency from blowing open when a gust of wounded pride hits the back of your neck. Do not skip stages. Walk the whole course because every bend teaches a skill you will need at the next bend. Do not change the target with your mood. Keep a central axis so each decision clips onto a tight cord that runs inside you. Do not hunt inspiration, feed habit. When the principle is clear, mood loses its special privilege to command, and your record of showing up speaks louder than any speech. Fall less, rise faster, go on. This 3-beat chain is the skeleton of endurance, and that skeleton carries the rest of the day's weight. See the difficulty. Keep the rhythm. Get through. When your rhythm holds on the steep grade, you unlock the next door that you once only stared at from a distance. There will be tired days, bored days when no one claps for you because you only did the ordinary thing that needed doing. Keep showing up. Keep moving on. Keep quiet. Your quiet becomes the steady drum inside, reminding you that the long road needs rhythm, not fireworks. You win by shifting focus away from instant results toward the habit of returning to the right place at the right time with the right step. Return first. Hold rhythm first. Finish first. When returning becomes reflex, you rarely fall off the road long enough to rebuild momentum from zero. What will you tell yourself when you want to turn off? Chosen means continue or bored, means stop, and which one do you want recorded in your life file? If you stay long enough, what is certain to happen? Chance drops by or ability grows. Which one lasts longer over time? Will you let your actions answer this instead of a long speech about why you must change roads right now? Set a short anchor line to hold your axis when your mind starts inventing reasons right. Task right, rhythm, right direction, right task first, right rhythm first, right direction first. The shorter the anchor, the sharper it cuts, and a sharp edge slices through the weeds of rationalization wrapped around your ankles. When you trip, do not throw a ceremony for the mistake. You only need a tight procedure that puts you back on the road at once. Face the error. Replace one piece. Move on immediately. A tight procedure gives your ego no time to build a stage, and the road stays clear of your pride's barricades. Do not ask when will I arrive every time others show off results. Ask, am I still on the road, then correct your stride. Do not count distance, measure rhythm. Do not compare speed, compare steadiness. Do not look sideways, look ahead. When your hands and eyes agree, neon lights from the next lane no longer blind you or pull your steering offline. Treat consistency like a warm charcoal stove, not a dazzling blaze, but hot enough to cook every part that needs cooking. Add small coals. Shield the breeze lightly. Keep an even flame. When the flame is even, the meal is ready on time, and on time is a promise you kept to yourself and to others. If you fear boredom, accept boredom as a bodily signal, not a moral verdict that makes you scold yourself. Nod to the boredom. Do the minimum piece. Stay on the road. Boredom passes faster when the right work continues. Stopping for boredom only invites boredom to stay longer than necessary. When a storm of news breaks, steady discipline is the windshield that keeps the rain of noise from wrecking your view. Keep your eyes on the road. Keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your foot on the throttle. These 3 points of contact carry you through the noisy zone and back into the quiet where you can hear your own footsteps again. You win by speaking to your body in simple language. Show up, touch the work close apart, then repeat. Show up first. Touch the work first. Close the part first. When your body understands your language, your feelings must learn to follow, and mood loses its veto over your plans. What will you do when results have not arrived? Change roads or change how you travel the same road? Which choice keeps your honor better? Do you need someone to remind you, or are you grown enough to remind yourself that the goal is not at fault? Only the habit of leaving the line is, will you sign for one more day of do not leave the road, so your consistency log grows by 1 page. You can see, stay with the road you chose. Stack the days you do not quit. Then one day you look up, the road lies neatly behind you, and ahead is the station you once thought was very far away. Begin today with one appearance when no one is cheering, so your heartbeat can hear your footsteps on the pavement. Repeat tomorrow with one minimum piece that keeps the momentum so good, inertia carries you farther without begging for motivation. Stack the days of consistency until staying is no longer effort, but the instinct of a person who keeps the axis of a life. By now you have seen that your path does not live in pretty promises. It lives in small actions repeated correctly. No one will carry you through the final stretch, and there is no shortcut over the pass unless you put your own hands on the wheel. No excuses, no stepping back, no waiting. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Take responsibility yourself. Do not wait to be pushed. Push yourself until you are over the hill. Name it right. Work steadily. Stay the course. Look straight, keep your word, stay consistent. These are the 3 pillars you have built with quiet sweat, invisible finished pieces. Do not ask for luck. Train endurance so momentum grows by itself like a charcoal stove, warming gradually with small, well-timed pieces of wood. Look straight, keep your word, stay consistent. Each day choose one clear decision and let action lead instead of feelings that change color like the evening sky. You must claim your part, clean up your environment, set a simple rule for yourself, and keep it until it becomes reflex. You win by repeating short, sure steps, joining pieces into blocks and blocks into results. Choose fewer words and more doing, and let results speak in place of any speech that wants to push in when you are tired. Fewer words, more doing. Visible progress. Do you truly want a life that lasts, or just one more night of fireworks on the internet sky? How many compliments do you still need before you step onto the road and let your feet finish the story that is half told? What will you say to yourself in the mirror if today you ask for one more day of waiting? Close every shortcut back to old excuses and open a straight door into the right work with a short, clear, warm start ritual. Do not chase applause. Chase results because results do not betray you when the lights go out and the room is quiet. Show up, finish, continue. There will be times you are tired, times you are bored, times you want to turn onto a road that is easy to talk about rather than easy to do. Stand still for one beat. Remind yourself of the axis. Go on. Boredom is only thin cloud passing overhead. The road is the mountain range that pays those who place steady steps. Do not change targets with your mood. Keep the axis because only a firm axis lets the wheels roll true in sudden wind and rain. Do not skip stages. Walk the whole course because the course teaches craft that lasts longer than passing tricks. Clear task, clear rhythm, clear direction. Will you ignore the noise to listen to the steady engine hum under the hood of your own life? That small but faithful sound. Will you write one short commitment to yourself and keep it as you keep your breath through every curve? Will you choose one action right now to prove that you are the driver, not the passenger? Begin today with one clear decision placed in the right spot, not fancy, not elaborate, only strong enough to open the door. Repeat tomorrow with one small visible action, like laying one more brick on the wall you have started to build. Stack the days of small wins until you touch the big win, and then you will know why you arrived here. Because you took responsibility 100% until you won no less, no split, no outsourcing to circumstances. Choose your part, keep your part, deliver your part,